Rejection, whether it's from someone you deeply care about or a person you've admired from afar, can feel devastating. The moment someone says, "I don't feel the same way," or "I'm not interested," it can shake your confidence and make you question your worth. But what if I told you that rejection doesn't have to break you? What if there's a way to transform this painful experience into one of growth and self-discovery? In this video, we're going to dive into the ancient wisdom of Stoic philosophy to learn how to handle rejection in love with grace, strength, and resilience. Whether you've just been turned down or are still dealing with the emotional aftermath, Stoicism provides a framework that can change how you view rejection forever. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be equipped with practical Stoic tools to overcome rejection and even come out stronger on the other side. Before we dive into the specifics of handling rejection, let's briefly discuss what Stoicism is and why it's so effective in helping us navigate difficult emotions. Stoicism, a philosophy founded in ancient Greece by Zeno of Citium, teaches us that our peace of mind comes not from external circumstances, but from how we respond to them. The Stoics emphasized four main virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, and they believed that by living according to these virtues we could achieve true contentment. When it comes to rejection in love, Stoicism helps us shift our focus from the uncontrollable, other people's actions, feelings, or decisions, to the only thing we can control, ourselves. By mastering our emotions and adopting a Stoic mindset, we learn to see rejection not as a personal failure, but as a natural part of life that can help us grow. Dichotomy of control. Focus on what you can control. One of the most important concepts in Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. Simply put, there are things we can control in life, and there are things we cannot. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." This principle is crucial when dealing with rejection. When someone rejects us, our immediate reaction is often to ask, "Why didn't they like me?" Or, "What did I do wrong?" These thoughts stem from a desire to control other people's feelings, which is something we cannot control. No matter how much we may wish otherwise, we cannot force someone to love us or to see us in a certain way. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own thoughts, reactions, and behavior. You can't control whether someone finds you attractive or wants to be with you, but you can control how you respond to their rejection. By accepting that other people's feelings are beyond your control, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and gain the strength to move forward. Application. Example. Let's say you've been dating someone for a while, and they suddenly tell you they don't want to continue the relationship. It's natural to feel hurt, but instead of dwelling on, "What could I have done differently?" you can choose to focus on how you'll respond. Will you let this rejection define your self-worth, or will you recognize that their decision is based on their perspective, something outside of your control? By shifting your mindset in this way, you empower yourself. Reframing rejection. It's not about you. A key aspect of Stoic wisdom is the ability to reframe situations. When faced with rejection, it's easy to take it personally and assume that it reflects something wrong with you. However, Stoicism encourages us to see rejection from a different perspective. Instead of viewing rejection as a personal failing, think of it as a reflection of the other person's preferences, needs, or circumstances. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often reminded himself that people act according to their own reasoning and desires, not because of you. If someone rejects you, it's not necessarily about you. It's about them and what they want or need at this moment in their life. This reframing can be incredibly liberating. It allows you to stop internalizing rejection and start viewing it more objectively. By doing so, you prevent yourself from spiraling into negative self-talk and instead develop a healthier mindset. Application. Example. Imagine you've confessed your feelings to someone and they politely decline. Rather than thinking, "I'm not good enough," try to see the situation through a Stoic lens. Their decision likely has more to do with where they are in their life than anything inherently wrong with you. By reframing the rejection, you maintain your sense of self-worth. Emotional mastery. Feel the pain, but don't be ruled by it. Stoicism doesn't ask us to suppress our emotions or pretend that rejection doesn't hurt. The Stoics acknowledged that we are human and that emotions like pain, sadness, and disappointment are natural responses to difficult situations. However, they also taught that while we might feel these emotions, we don't have to be ruled by them. In Stoicism, the goal is not to avoid feeling pain, but to learn how to respond to it rationally. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When rejected, it's normal to feel sadness or disappointment. Allow yourself to feel these emotions, but don't let them control you. Instead of wallowing in self-pity or resentment, take a step back and observe your feelings without letting them dictate your actions. Practical tip. When you feel overwhelmed by the pain of rejection, practice the Stoic technique of self-distancing. Imagine you're advising a friend in the same situation. What would you tell them? How would you encourage them to move forward? This exercise helps you view your emotions more objectively and prevents you from becoming consumed by them. The power of perspective. Look at the bigger picture. Stoicism teaches us to zoom out and look at the bigger picture when faced with challenges like rejection. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of the impermanence of all things, including pain and disappointment. In the grand scheme of your life, this moment of rejection is just one small chapter. It may feel overwhelming right now, but it won't last forever. When you step back and view rejection from a wider perspective, it loses some of its emotional intensity. You realize that this one rejection does not define your entire life or your future happiness. Stoics often practiced negative visualization, where they would imagine the worst-case scenario to prepare themselves emotionally for life's inevitable setbacks. By contemplating the impermanence of your current pain, you gain the emotional resilience to endure it. Application. Example. The next time you're rejected, take a moment to reflect on your entire life. Will this rejection matter in 5 years? 10 years? Probably not. This shift in perspective can help you move forward with greater ease and less emotional baggage. Self-reflection and growth. Using rejection as a tool for self-improvement. Rejection, painful as it may be, can also be an opportunity for growth and self-reflection. The Stoics believed that every challenge in life, including rejection, offers us the chance to practice virtue. Instead of seeing rejection as purely negative, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Self-reflection is a key Stoic practice, and it's especially valuable in the context of rejection. Take some time to reflect on the relationship or interaction that led to the rejection. Is there something you could have done differently? Is there a lesson you can take away to improve your future relationships? The Stoic approach to moving forward: embrace what comes next. After you've processed the initial pain of rejection, it's time to move forward. Stoicism teaches us to embrace whatever life throws our way with grace and acceptance. As Marcus Aurelius said, accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs. Rejection might close one door, but it often opens others. By embracing what comes next, you leave space for new opportunities, relationships, and experiences. The Stoic mindset is one of resilience and adaptability. Instead of clinging to what could have been, a Stoic looks forward to what's yet to come. In Stoic philosophy, there's a powerful concept called amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This principle teaches us to not only accept everything that happens in life, but to love it. This doesn't mean you have to feel joyful in the face of pain or rejection, but rather, to view all experiences, good and bad, as essential parts of your personal growth and journey. When it comes to rejection and love, amor fati invites you to embrace it as something that was meant to happen. It's not an obstacle to your happiness. but rather part of the natural flow of life. By adopting this mindset, rejection becomes not just something to endure, but something that can ultimately lead you toward where you're meant to be. Application. Example. The next time you experience rejection, instead of seeing it as a failure or a detour from happiness, view it through the lens of amor fati. Say to yourself, "This is part of my path. I may not understand it now, but in time, I will see how it fits into the bigger picture of my life." This shift in perspective can radically transform how you deal with rejection, moving you from resistance to acceptance.